You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Thank you so much for listening on a Monday. We got a very exciting day here. We've got Dan Farris joining us in the studio.
Hey, guys.
There are a lot of people that get the day off today. Heidi has the day off today. Just kidding. She doesn't really. I'm just teasing.
I wish I would have been informed. I didn't get the memo.
No, you did not. But there are a lot of people that are taking the day off today. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And one of my favorite stories about that is when my daughter was in kindergarten. She came home from kindergarten. Dan's going to love this. And she said, I don't have school on Monday. And we said, why is that? And she so proudly said, it's Fred Johnson Day. And we're going,
Who's Fred Johnson?
She's like, well, we don't have school. And we're like, why not? What does that mean?
And I looked at the calendar.
It's Fred Johnson Day.
I said, you mean Martin Luther King Jr.? She's like, yeah, him.
Oh,
Same guy.
Like her mother. She didn't know the name, so she just made up a name.
Well, I wonder when kids during the course of a school year, when they get those various days off, I wonder if it is explained to them in school what that denotes or what the meaning of that day off is.
It used to be explained when I was in school, but I don't know if they still do that.
So I remember addressing Luke and Sadie, my two kids, when they were very young. They were attending Cleveland Elementary at the time.
Yeah.
And it was that day. It was Martin Luther King Jr. And I asked them, and I want to say they were, 5 and 7.
Yeah.
So do you know Martin Luther King Jr. was, what that denotes, why this is, being celebrated?
Right.
Which,
and they didn't know.
Sadie being, the older and the daughter probably just left the room because she didn't hear what I said. But my son Luke looked at me, and he looked mildly interested. And I said, well, Martin Luther King. And the first thing that popped into my head, of course, was his famous speech. I said, he had a dream.
Had a dream.
Martin Luther King had a dream. And before I could get any further, my son looked at me and says, yeah, I have lots of dreams. How come I don't get a parade? And that's, I was like, what?
Let me finish.
Oh,
that's
so precious.
How
You gotta
old was he at
love
the time?
children. 5.
Luke was 27, 5, the other. Yeah, it's crazy. Being a parent, it's a life sentence.
It is. Well, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, and in honor of that, a lot of folks do have the day off, and there's a lot of kids that don't have school today. And I think the weatherman took the day off too. It's I guess we'll find out what the forecast is like for the rest of the week. All of that and much, much more coming up. We do have manly men doing manly things in a manly fashion on the way right here on the John and Heidi Show.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Excuse me, haven't I seen you on the MTV?
On Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Time now for manly men doing manly things in a manly fashion with Dan Farris during our bonus hour.
I wasn't necessarily going to go with this one, but then it occurred to me all of the times over the years, shaking hands.
Oh, yeah.
And the ones I remember most are the ones of shaking hands with guys where you kind of just immediately go, nope.
I think that is a good thing, but you got to be careful not to have too firm of a handshake.
And that is actually in the information, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll let you tell me then. I'll just be quiet.
Yeah, I've had my knuckles busted too, and that's
me
like,
too.
It's like, hey, dude, what's that about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah, the firm handshake, important part of a good first impression. But it's not just the handshake. Number one, full grip, not this fingertip thing, which seems to happen more and more.
Yeah.
Younger generation type thing. It's like, I don't know. Maybe
we don't know what we're doing. We're going to just do this.
Maybe it's a germ thing on your part. I don't know. But, man, that's just kind of weird. So, yeah, full grip handshake given with just the right pressure, accompanied by looking in the person's eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just conveys immediately warmth. Confidence.
Confidence.
Let's do this, whatever this happens to be. Then conversely, limp dead fish shake or the crushing death grip, John, that you pointed out, is going to get you off on the wrong foot, period.
I have a really good handshake for a woman, and I've been told men go to shake my hand, and they're always trying to do it weak because they assume I'm going to have a weak handshake. And I have accidentally crushed.
She heard bones cracking once.
I have. But not because it's so strong, but because they weren't coming in properly. So we did not have good handshake to handshake ratio, and that creates a problem.
Do you remember, probably 10 years ago now, there was this show called There's a name for it. I don't know what it was. Howie Mandel was hosting. Howie Mandel was hosting it, and they had all the boxes they were opening.
Oh, sure, Deal or No Deal.
That thing.
Yeah.
So when that show came out, and Howie Mandel is a bit of a germaphobe, so he wouldn't shake hands. He would do the fist bump thing.
Right, yep.
So that caught on all over the place. Well, we didn't watch that show, so I didn't know that, and I was not privy to what the kids were doing, all the cool kids. So we go to this meeting, and this guy... I reach out to shake his hand, and he puts out a fist, and I thought maybe he had, like
a gimpy
something going on with his hand. So I shake his fist with my hand. And
the old fist shake, yeah. That's awkward for everybody.
He gave me the funniest look. He's like, what was that? I was like, what was that? And then he showed me the fist bump. I was like, oh, I've never done that before. He goes, yeah, all the kids are doing it, man. So that became our thing. Every time I would see him, he would shake
his fist.
I'd reach out my hand, and he'd put his fist in my hand to shake it. So it was our secret handshake. That's what all the cool kids do.
Practice it if you have to. That's
there you
just
go.
how
And
it
then
works.
I convinced our son that Teddy Roosevelt invented the fist bump. And he actually believed that. It was just made up. And that's one of the many things that I've steered my son completely in the wrong direction on in life. And for that, Troy, I'm sorry. We do have water cooler talk coming up.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris
You heard it on your Walkman radio?
on Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Thank you so much for listening. It's time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One in Sioux Falls. And we've got Dan Farris here during our bonus hour. And looks like he's finding something on the computer here.
Well, every now and again I just... old habit back in the day, which most historians do agree was probably a Wednesday.
Okay.
Now, imagine this. I mean, everything's online these days. You can access pretty much everything. You just got to goggle it on them interwebs. That's all you got to do. But back in the day...
Oh, you'd have to look stuff up, man.
'cause years ago, I was partnered with Craig Maddock.
Oh, yeah.
Still in the business here in this town. Great guy. He was the news director.
Okay.
As well. And in the morning, he would literally call down to the police station to get a report.
Oh, yeah.
And type it up and then present whatever he figured was newsworthy.
Yeah.
Very archaic by today's standards.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I still delve into the police and see what's going on crime-wise. And this one just caught my attention because Sioux Falls, and this was, I believe, last week, Sioux Falls, a convenience store employee, arrested by police. The employee was arrested by the police. Okay, follow along here. When he held down a possible shoplifting suspect.
Oh, wow.
This was last Tuesday. Here's the story. Ryan Dugan, 28, charged with simple assault and carrying a concealed weapon without a permit.
Okay.
Which,
you
according
have to have a permit.
You do right now. Maybe by next week you won't have to, according to new legislation going on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. This is according to spokesman Sam Clemens. Officers called to the gas station near the intersection of 41st Street and Meadow Avenue. A little after midnight, turns out a woman, suspected shoplifter, she came back into the store. This guy said, hey, I think you've been ripping us off. She ran out. He ran out. Got her down, was basically just holding her there on the ground while he called police.
Right.
Before police came, a friend of hers showed up, pulled a knife.
Oh.
Okay.
Pulled a knife. To which Ryan said,
Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
he pulled a gun. So,
Yeah.
he wins immediately, but no one was hurt.
But he was the one arrested.
He
What
is
about
the
the chick
one
with
arrested.
the knife?
We don't know if it
Who
was
brandished her knife
Well,
first?
as soon as the employee whipped out the gun, the dude with the knife scampered.
Oh, it was a dude.
He just got out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know whether they found him not or yet. But I just thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's quite the trail. What am I trying to say? Chain of events
No,
here.
it's really sad because it sounds like he did everything right. Like he pulled out a gun in self-defense. Obviously, the only problem, as far as I'm concerned, is he
Should've
didn't
had
have a permit
Yeah.
to have the gun on him. But he followed protocol,
Was she
right?
caught for shoplifting, or was it?
Well,
it
that's
said suspected.
part of the mix too. It says as far as
Doesn't
I
say.
know, they said, look, they're investigating whether the woman was involved in shoplifting earlier, but said shoplifting report was never filed by anyone at that store.
Huh. I wonder if he still works there.
So my guess is, boy.
I don't know.
I don't know if I was the owner. Yeah, I'd make
I
a
would
manager.
be like, I
Pay
would,
the month.
yeah, absolutely.
No, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Without knowing all of the details, it's kind of hard to take a side. But it sounds like it's too bad. But we don't know all the details. So
I'd like to see the video because I just want to see the guy who showed up whipped out a knife. I just want to see the knife guy's face. That's all I'm interested in.
See y'all. You're my friend. I'm not that good of a friend. I like it all, but
there you go. A little chunk of crime. It's just rampant all over Sioux Falls. It's nuts.
I don't think it's not that bad. It's pretty good. Water cooler talk right there. Brought to you by Aqua One. Stick around. Entertainment news of the day on the way.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
What is that thing you're doing?
It's technical. It's one of our little toys.
On Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3 FM. We are less than a week away from the world premiere of Deary Off the Wall at the West Mall 7 right here in Sioux Falls.
I am so excited for this.
I am too.
I got to tell you, I can't wait to see it.
Did you see the poster? That's really
did.
cool.
The poster's pretty amazing.
Dan, is that the first time you've been on a movie poster? It's the first time I've been on a movie poster.
Well, yeah, considering it's the only movie I've ever been in.
No, you never know, though. But
well, that's what makes it legit. It really wasn't a movie until that poster got produced.
I know. Now and it's going to be in the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can record something with a phone and do stuff and make it a movie. That's not a movie. This is a movie.
This is a movie
because it's in the theater
and we
this
are
Saturday.
In it.
And there's actually a movie poster that you will see this Saturday when you come to the theater. And there's I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm super excited for it.
It's if you're interested in seeing it, and if you think a bunch of us just got together and just, shot some video, whatever. No, this was produced like an actual movie. Yeah. There's special effects in it.
There are.
Editing had to be done. Production
There's some of the
work
stuff
had
I
to be
still
done.
don't know how they did it.
No, it's
beautiful.
It
really is beautiful.
It is a masterpiece.
Again, there will be no refunds.
No regrets, no refunds.
We are not overselling it at all. I do have a video online where you can see that. There's a link at sunnyradio.com to go and find tickets and all of that. On the Sunny Facebook page, we're sharing the trailer. You can see the little video, the movie trailer that's on there. And I'm super excited about it. So that's the beginning of entertainment news. Did you have something else over here that's probably way more important than our stuff?
I didn't, but I think it's along the lines of, we're going to do that showing at the West Mall on Saturday. 7 o'clock is showtime.
Yeah, this Saturday.
And I think, a lot of things grow into what they call cult status.
Oh, yeah.
Like Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of my all-time favorites.
I think this will be along those lines.
Yeah.
That pretty well describes the kind of a film that you'll be seeing. It's very, very bizarre. It takes a very special kind of sense of humor.
You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the very edge of it.
Wow.
You'll get on the edge of your seat all the way through.
Wow.
But you still pay for the whole seat. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's coming up this Saturday. Tickets available now at sunnyradio.com. And anything else for entertainment news, or is that going to wrap it up?
I think that's plenty.
That is plenty.
Deary Off the Wall. And it's completely suitable for children and
Yes.
The elderly, livestock, we don't care.
Livestock. It's all coming up this Saturday. All the details at sunnyradio.com.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
By the way, why are we wearing bras on our heads?
On Sunny 93.3.